No surprise that it's coming up in a political year. Why do you think what Eric Cantor is proposing is not a good thing? If you believe him, he's saying 100,000 jobs would help women. Sounds like it would help the middle class as well.
Well, over one half of this so-called small business tax cut actually goes to people earning over $1 million a year. And so this is a typical House Republican bait and switch. You put a label on something saying it's for small businesses, but you give away the store to millionaires. You tell people that because of our debt, we have to dismantle Medicare because we can't afford it on the one hand, but then you pass a $46 billion tax cut for millionaires that's not paid for. I'm all for investments in the middle class, giving incentives to small businesses, but this doesn't make investments and incentives in small businesses and mom and pops in the middle class. This is another unfunded, unpaid for tax giveaway, giving away the store to people who are earning over $1 million a year.
Mr. Chairman, this is Naftali Ben-David with the Wall Street Journal. I just wanted to ask you, how are you feeling currently about your chances of retaking the House? There's a lot of people would say that right now Democrats would take about 10 seats, which is far short of the 25 they need. So, and that redistricting, if anything, helped Republicans a little bit. So, how do you feel about your odds at the moment?
Well, Naftali, you know I'm a big fan of the New York Mets. I understand patience, and you got to wait to the last game of the season, and we're not there yet. I've said from day one that this is an uphill battle, but that the House will be in range. And I can tell you today, the House is in range. We'll see what happens in November. The more House Republicans say that we've got to end Medicare because we can't afford it, but keep giving tax cuts to millionaires, the more they divest from the middle class and kick the middle class in the stomach with budgets like the ones that they're passing, the better our chances. But that also gives us an obligation to offer some solutions. And our solution to this economy is fundamentally you invest in the middle class. We want people to pay the lowest taxes possible. The problem now is that the rich are paying less and the middle class is paying more. That's why we need to have a tax code that is fair and that invests in middle class families.
Amy, you want to jump in?
Yes, Congressman, this is Amy Kramer with Tea Party Express. And I just have to say, Republicans don't want to end Medicare. Republicans want to reform Medicare. It was just last May that the Board of Trustees issued a report stating that if it was not reformed, it would be bankrupt by 2024, I believe. And it falls on both the Republicans and the Democrats to take the necessary steps to reform this program so that our seniors can count on it in their future years. And that's what they've banked on their whole lives. They've worked hard and they deserve that. And so it falls on both parties. These party politics of going back and forth and blaming each other is not acceptable. You both need to stand up and do what's right for the American people.
Let me throw a question. I'm going to throw a question on to the end of Amy's point, which is, in an election year, is that going to be possible? In a year where there is a benefit for everybody running to a camera and stating positions that are opposite of what the other person is stating, is that even viable?
Well, why can't we do things like give the Secretary of Health and Human Services the authority to negotiate volume discounts on prescription drugs for Medicare, just like the Secretary of Veterans Affairs does? That will reduce and stabilize prices. There are lots of things that we can agree on. The problem is this, Amy. I agree with you. We need to reform Medicare. We need to strengthen it. We need to ensure its solvency. The criticism I have, with all due respect of House Republicans, is that they start solving the budget crisis by taking seniors off Medicare, by turning it from a guaranteed benefit program into a coupon program where you may have it, you may not, and the Congressional Budget Office says under any scenario it's going to cost you an additional $6,000. Why are we this week passing a $46 billion tax cuts for millionaires, but at the same time saying we're going to balance our budget not by making taxes low and fair, but by asking seniors to pay more first?